I'm gonna talk about is LeBron James the most in shape or the best in shape basketball player ever? You hear a lot of pundits on TV saying LeBron James has a he's the most in shape basketball player ever, better than Michael Jordan, better than Larry Bird, better than Michael Magic Johnson, better than Dwayne Wade, just better than Kobe, better than anybody that's ever played the game. They say he's the most in shape. Even Skip says he gives it to LeBron. LeBron is more in shape than Michael Jordan. And Shannon Sharp says LeBron James spends $1 million on his body. He's the most in shape guy in basketball today. And my question is this: if he's the most in shape basketball player ever, then why he's not a two-way player like he was back in 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, even 2014? He was a two-way player back then, playing defense, and he was still putting out the same offensive output back then. And people say that, oh, he's better in shape than Michael Jordan. And then when Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless have a debate about why LeBron James can't play on both ends of the ball in this year's playoffs, Shannon Sharp says, oh, he conserving energy for the offensive end. But what I say is this, Shannon: if he's the most in shape ever, he's the best in shape basketball player today, you cannot say, well, he needs to conserve energy on the offensive end. He should be able to play on the defensive end as well as he playing on the offensive end, because he should be able to take out Jaylen Brown like he did the other night, out not out the game completely, but he should be able to shut him down to where he doesn't have an impact on the game. Jaylen Brown, I believe he was averaging 20 something points a game against the Bucks, and if LeBron James have cut his average down to 8 points at least, that's an 8 point plus favorite for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then LeBron James don't have to score 40 a night, so he won't have the same workload that he has when he doesn't play defense. If LeBron James played defense, then the Cavs would not, the Cavs, he would not have to do a lot for the Cavs as Shannon says he does. The only reason why LeBron James does a lot for the Cavs on the offensive end because they running the LeBron James system to where LeBron James dominates the basketball. See, LeBron James don't want to get hockey assists. He want to get the assist. The hockey assist is he passes to a man that passes to the man that leads to the assist, that leads to the the assisting and the guy getting the bucket. He wants to hold the ball until he gets the assist. See, that's usage rate. He has one of the highest usage rates in NBA history. And Michael Jordan has a high usage rate, but Shannon keeps saying that LeBron James has a more of a workload than Michael Jordan because of his stats, because he averaged like 8 assists and 8 rebounds and still getting 35 points. But what I'm gonna say is this, Shannon: you have to look at their games. LeBron James is playing the LeBron James system. Michael Jordan was in a triangle offense under Phil Jackson by his fourth year. He was in a triangle offense, and he had to run the triangle offense, which the triangle offense, you don't get a lot of assists. A man doesn't get a lot of assists in the triangle offense. You get a lot of hockey assists because it's predicated on the guys touching the ball. A lot of different guys touching the ball, getting in rhythm. Michael Jordan, the reason why Phil Jackson said he was going to run a triangle is because he said the game was centered around too much around Michael Jordan, and you got to get your teammates involved. So the defense cannot just sit on Michael Jordan on what he does. So Michael Jordan, for at least 9 years, played in the triangle offense. So he's not going to have a lot of assists. He still averaged 5 or 6 assists, which that is real good for a shooting guard. He's a shooting guard at that. And you say, well, LeBron James is rebounding more. Michael Jordan had rebounding help. Well, Michael Jordan, like I said, again, he's playing in the triangle. In the triangle offense, he's centered around different parts of the floor, the elbow, the mid post, and sometimes he's outside by the 3 point line. Not taking a whole lot of threes, but a lot of decoy was subject around Michael Jordan in that triangle offense. Michael Jordan was more of a decoy sometimes. So if Michael Jordan was able, and I say this again, when Michael Jordan played the point guard position under Doug Collins, I think it was his third year or second year, third year, he averaged 8 assists a game. So Michael Jordan can do everything that LeBron James is doing if he plays the way LeBron James is playing. So when you tell me that LeBron James is the most in shape athlete ever, then you cannot.
Feels good to be back in the postseason.
You cannot. You cannot then, uh, compare LeBron James to what Michael Jordan was doing because, like Skip said, Michael Jordan still was on the all defensive team and he was a leading scorer in the league. Michael Jordan not only did it, he did it for like 10 years, 9 or 10 years, where he was on the all defensive first team and he still was leading the league in scoring. And he still had a high usage rate. And Michael Jordan was a year older than LeBron James at this time. And Skip pointed out that LeBron James is 70th ranked on defense in the playoffs. And before, when the playoffs first started, he was like 200 and something. And then for the regular season, he was like 300 and something. So LeBron James is conserving energy for the offensive end. And like I said, man, either he's the most in shape or he's not. Because if he's the most in shape, then you can't compare him to average people that are not in shape like him. If he's the most in shape, then he should be able to give out more than what those guys gave out. He should be able to play defense, man. He should, and that goes to what Jay Crowder and reportedly Kyrie Irving said, that he's more into his stats, which I think he's into his stats because when he retired, he wanted to say, I got more points than Michael Jordan, I got more assists, I got more rebounds. But Michael Jordan is not the greatest player because of stats, LeBron, simply because of his stats. Now, his stats are a part of it, but he's not the greatest simply because of his stats. It's just he's the greatest ever compared with, coupled with him being a clutch player, leading his team to 6 titles, being the first, shooting guard or wing player to change the paradigm that you don't have to have a center to win multiple championships. And you can be a leading scorer on a team and still, you could be a leading scorer in the league and still win titles, because every year that he won titles, Michael Jordan was the leading scorer in NBA basketball. So he changed the paradigm. That's why he's the greatest. Not because of his stats, because Wilt Chamberlain got better stats than Michael Jordan. Wilt Chamberlain scored more points than Michael Jordan. Wilt Chamberlain got more rebounds than Michael Jordan. Wilt Chamberlain got more blocks than Michael Jordan. So that's not because it's not because of your stats. Your stats are a means to an end. Like, your stats are only good if your team win, and that's when you are valuable. If your team lose and you have gaudy stats, your team